the other thing that I want to point out, we're getting close to time, but as you're talking, we do a thing with clients called the market map. And you've mentioned competitors, you've mentioned customers, you've mentioned potential customers, you've talked about associations, you talk about, where you're spending your money. That's the market map. And my gut says, and I'm just curious, do you have that mapped out on paper someplace for other people to see?
Not really. It's we try to we have a vision that we share, and we talk about focusing on growing our refrigerated side of the business. We didn't walk away, and we still take up opportunities on the dry side. It's more regional. Or if it fits what we're currently doing and helps grow it, we'll take a look at most opportunities there. But overall, our guiding was to grow the refrigerated side, take advantage of our expertise. We share that in conversations. I have several ways that I communicate with our employees. Every month there's this program, I call it the Worst Television Show on the air, Ken's Corner. It's a Teams meeting that anyone in our company can join into. Okay. And I have an email address specifically for that they can send in ideas for topics or questions they have, or different things whether it's within the company or within the industry. And I'll talk about that for 45 minutes or so once a month. Then I have it's supposed to be weekly, but I call it the occasionally weekly update that I send out. I try not to jam up people's inboxes just for the sake of maintaining a schedule. That we when I'll use that. Sometimes it's just reminders of some at the end of the year, the HR gives me a lot of things to put in there for health insurance renewals and changes and that type of thing. But other times it's just talking about trends in the industry or trends in the company, or initiatives that we may be having internally. And we've got 4 operating companies, so that it's not always just about Leonard's. It's we have the driving school, which is a for-profit driving school. We happen to hire a lot of their students on the Class A side, but we do cars and smaller trucks as well. We have Integrated Logistics, which is basically a financing company for small fleets. Where we buy their accounts receivable, fund them as soon as they provide us the required paperwork, and then we collect the money from their customers. They improve their cash flow. And then Johnson Equipment, Johnson Equipment is a big part of Leonard's, as they maintain all of Leonard's trucks, but we also have the outside customers. Our body shop I was in last week, and I walked around with a big smile on my face because not a single vehicle in there said Leonard's on the side of it. Wow,
that's great.
Which in our business, not having anything in our body shop is a bonus. So it's so I have to balance that. It's not all about Leonard's, but Leonard's is the big company, and everybody knows that. And so a lot of it dominates there, and I try to give everybody the opportunity to ask questions, so that's and that all started during the pandemic. It was driven by the need to communicate initially about restrictions, requirements, all the things that we don't want to talk about anymore because we're tired of it. What communities had mask rules, and and there was talk about mandatory vaccines and all that, and and some of the responses I got from some of that varied widely. There's a lot of different opinions on that, but we saw the value in using those tools as a way to communicate the good things and and the necessary things, rather than using that platform. I love that we can now get together in person, and
no such thing as geography anymore.
Right. But, I hope that, the technology is going to improve. We'll go back to meeting in person, but we'll also use the technology to meet more often.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Yeah. You talk about how you made some changes and did some things using the pandemic as an opportunity. This podcast wouldn't exist without the pandemic. I was using it as I happen to know, like guys like Dr. Jim, I know more, consultants because of, the work that we've done with family businesses through the years. I'm like, let me just get these consultants on to help people. And that's how we started. And then it was Ray Isaac and Anthony Daniele came on. And I had so much fun talking to them about their businesses. We started to pivot to say, I'll bring in the consultants every once in a while, but we learn more from other people doing it than people telling us what to do,
Right.
So,
And we have a podcast, and we get tens and tens of likes, but we're hoping to grow it. And I'm the co-host. We have one of our risk control managers out of our Delaware facility hosts it, and we balance it, same way. It's we bring in internal people. There's a story to tell, but we also try to bring in outside folks like. We're big in supporting, the fight against human trafficking. In January's Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and there's Association Truckers Against Trafficking that we support, and so we brought somebody on from Truckers Against Trafficking, in January, and we've had because of our initiatives with the breast cancer sport, we've had people from the Breast Cancer Coalition of Rochester on, so it's a mix of internal and external, and I have a lot of fun with it. It's a good thing it doesn't cost a lot, because we're it's slow growth and getting listeners, but it's a lot of fun, and I think we do a pretty good job.
yeah. And I want to say thank you for all your time today. Anybody listening to this, hopefully you go back and listen to it again, because there's nuggets inside of here of things that you just did naturally, and from watching other people's success and just implementing it. Hats off to you. Hats off to your mom and dad. I want to give them a salute for, they did a great job of, teaching you and your brothers, the foundational aspects of all this stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And, we have an award that called the Pat Johnson Award. It's, one of the big things that, big initiatives is supporting women in trucking. And, in my mind, she was one of the pioneers, she started with my dad, and, and she just, not only was she a great mother, raising us and teaching us, she was a great business leader, and side by side with my dad, and, certainly learned a lot from my dad as well. But, we like to say that the doing things right, came from her. She was a big believer. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right, or we'll just stay home.
That's great. Ken Johnson, Leonard's Express, thank you for joining me today. Really, really had a great time. My name's Michael Columbus. I'm with Family Wealth and Legacy in Rochester, New York. And this has been the Family Biz Show. If you happen to be listening to the show and you're a family business, feel free to reach out. We'd love to have you on, especially the multi-generation family businesses. Tell your story and share it with other people. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.